Bollywood created some amazing romantic classics, and one of the greats among them is Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham, the movie that romanticized helping your husband do his tie and helping women accessorize and when your clothes start threading. So grab your tea and let's take a look, shall we? Meet the Raichand family, a wealthy family who live in Waddington Manor, Aylesbury, a suburb of Delhi. The older son, Rahul, has not learned to dress for the weather despite living in England. Here he is in the sweltering heat of Delhi, and here he is in the pouring rain. The younger son, Rohan, doesn't know how to tie his shoelaces well into adulthood.
Oh God, अब इसका क्या करूं? Let's try one more time. Okay.
Which begs the question, who on earth tied his shoelaces on the cricket team? Their father, Yash, the patriarch of the family, is a paragon of traditional values, who has a rather unhealthy obsession with Naina, his friend's daughter, an obsession she may be feeding just a teeny bit with her Marilyn Monroe-inspired Happy Birthday song.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
She's certainly not Marilyn to his JFK, but Mr. Raichand would like his son Rahul to marry Naina, but by way of Chandni Chowk and the Great Pyramid of Giza, Rahul has fallen in love with Anjali. And Mr. Raichand decidedly does not approve of this match.
एक बार भी तुमने नहीं सोचा कि क्या वो लड़की हमारे संस्कार, हमारी संस्कृति समझ पाएगी? क्या ये लड़की हमारे कायदे, हमारे उसूलों को समझ पाएगी? क्या वो इस परिवार की परंपरा का पालन कर पाएगी?
But to be fair, the Raichand men controls thunder with their emotions. Anjali's dad, however, never exhibited any such Zeus-like power. He just died. But despite his father's disapproval, Rahul and Anjali get married on the auspicious occasion of her father's death. I know it sounds highly inopportune, but they didn't have to call a florist. Although, unfortunately for them, they do have to leave because his father does not approve of the match. And if you're wondering, but what about the mother? Well, she doesn't get a say. Quite literally, I might add.
जी आजकल तो बच्चे खुद ही
कुछ नहीं बदला नंदिनी।
मेरे कहने का मतलब
कुछ नहीं बदला।
जी वो
कहती है ना, बस कहती है।
मैं समझ सकती हूँ मगर फिर भी
End of discussion नंदिनी, हम वहाँ नहीं जा सकते हैं।
आप अगर मुझे
कहती है ना, बस कहती है।
And after many years, the other son eventually has a Dory-like awakening and sets out to London under the guise of studying towards an MBA to bring his family back together by enlisting the help of Anjali's sister Pooja, the most popular girl on campus who goes by the nickname. If she was even remotely popular on campus, she would not be going by a nickname that literally means defecation. But I digress. Rohan's plan is to infiltrate his brother's household and give everyone some serious FOMO.
मेरा नाम यश है। हमारे यहाँ टीका लगाए बिना घर से कोई नहीं निकलता। माँ कहती है कि दिन अच्छा गुजरता है। घर में बड़ों का साया होना बहुत जरूरी है, वरना परिवार अधूरा सा लगने लगता है ना? तो सरगी पहुंच गई आपकी?
सरगी
हर सास अपनी बहू को कुछ भेजती है, समथिंग। आपकी सास ने आपको नहीं भेजा?
By the way, he's definitely studying in some alternate universe King's College London, because I assure you, even an ambulance cannot find parking anywhere near the Strand. But then again, the campus culture was entirely inspired by rom-coms set in American high schools. But that's not the only way in which this movie sets unrealistic expectations of London. In a London club, you will never find this much space to move around in and freely dance without hitting someone or knocking their drink out. Also, Trust me, the floor of any London club is so filthy you would do anything to avoid putting your hands on it. It's gross. If you're wondering if any of Rohan's efforts brought the family back together, they didn't. This did. Which only perpetuates the myth that all problems are solved when a mother-in-law dies. Even though all the women in this movie are lovely. And so, they do eventually come together and live happily ever after, leaving us with some very, very important questions. Why is Kabhi spelled in 2 different ways in the title? It's the same word! Why don't any of the people in this movie greet others at the front door?
सुनो सुनिए
Oh, wait.
Morning, Mrs. Raichand.
Why didn't Rohan lead with, "Our grandmother is dying. You should really come back to India and make the last days of her life a little bit happier," and cut the runtime down? But then again, we would have missed out on these incredible moments.
चंदू के चाचा ने चंदू की चाची को चांदनी चौक में चांदी की चम्मच से चटनी चढ़ाई.
Movie tonight?
Tell me how it was. पता है मंदिर में सब घूर घूर के देख रहे थे. अगर भगवान को देखने के बजाय सब मुझे घूर के देख रहे थे, तो it's not my problem.
Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham is an all-time classic everyone goes into with great expectations, cries for a grand total of 2 hours, and spends the rest of the runtime dancing to songs which truly exceed expectations, as they continue to be played at Mehendi's Dholaks and Sangeets all these years later. Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham is a movie where all the happiness is in the songs and the rest of the movie is pretty much about sadness. Set in a fictitious Delhi and a fictitious London, with the totally realistic premise of disowning one's child because they disobeyed you, revisit the dark days before WhatsApp when we had to use the landline and our parents did this.
Boys का बिल देंगे. जाओ खाना खा. Go. Go be free. Long distance.
Featuring the most accurate Desi parent apology ever. Establishing once and for all that Anupam Kher is the superior Bollywood dad. But who am I kidding? You definitely watched this one. Hi everyone, I really hope you liked this video. If you haven't already, you might like to check out Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham, though I must say, you need a box of tissues near you. The movie is available on Netflix, Amazon, and you can even purchase it off YouTube. But let's face it, most of us have the DVD. I'd love to read your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, peace out.